So just so that you know, I don't pick any of them. They go in the library, I hang them a list, and I say, here you go. And they get to pick them. Hard, easy, doesn't matter. They have to figure out what they want to play. And sometimes we get the piece and we try to read it and we go, we don't have enough time for this. And sometimes they just crush it. And so it's been a lot of fun. I'm losing memory. Ethan found the piece, Ethan rehearsed the piece, and he conducted the piece. So great job today. Now, in keeping with different music, I am privileged this year to have not one, but actually several students taking music as a career going into next year. One of which is Bailey Vaughn. And he has been a great trumpet player for us, and I challenged him this concert mainly because he wouldn't leave me alone. And I say that, I just always pick things with trumpet solos, but this year it just didn't happen. It was alto sax, alto sax, alto sax. Bailey walks up to me second period because he plays in more than one ensemble, and was like, when are we going to get a trumpet solo? And so because he said something, I went and found one of the hardest things I could find for trumpet. Said, here, we're going to play a concerto just for you. So you're going to notice this is based on the Bailey show with band accompaniment. And the cool thing is, he can use this next year when he goes to college, because it is college repertoire. So he has a lot of fun, and we're hoping it's going to be a lot of fun to get it done. The next piece we're going to play is entitled Nexus. Good. My favorite thing about Bailey is I can throw something at him and he looks at me funny and then comes back the next day and can play it. So it's a whole lot of fun and I hope you enjoy it. You did a great job. So keeping with drum major tradition, our next drum major is Miss Bethany Turpin. We're going to let her introduce this piece.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Bethany. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to share why it means so much to me and all of us. Earlier this year, our family experienced a loss that deeply affected every one of us. And we lost someone who meant so much to this program, Aiden Gaines. He was not just a talented musician, but a friend to a lot and a teammate and someone who helped shape the spirit of the band. The piece I've chosen to conduct tonight is Creep by Radiohead. This song was part of our marching show this year, and it featured a solo that Aiden played. Every time we heard it, it was a moment that stood out, just like he did. The Monday after we received the news, our band room became more than just a place to rehearse. It became a place to grieve, to support one another, and to begin healing. And in one of the darkest moments we faced, this band showed what it truly meant to be a family. We leaned on each other, and we stayed strong together. That's what music and what this community can do. It brings people together, even when words fall short. So tonight, as we listen, I deeply encourage you to not only hear the music, but to think about the people in your own life. Cherish them, check in on them, remind them that they matter. And if you ever find yourself struggling, please remember that you're not alone. This piece is for Aiden. Thank you.
I say it all the time, but the students say it best. The best part about Maine is the people, and the fact that they picked that, and that's what they wanted to do in honor of someone that means so much to them. I can't ask for better people than that. So we're excited that we raise, as a collective, these kind of people, and they're fantastic. In keeping with different, I found a piece just like the last ensemble that goes with next year's show. But it wasn't written for band, it was written for chorus. Flight of Paradise is originally written by Eric Whitaker, and there is no band arrangement. But a friend of mine on the other side of the state said, I want to play it, and called an arranger, and he wrote it. And when I was trying to find it, sent a message out on the band director group on the internet, and he just texted me and says, here. And so we have this whole thing, and the crazy part about this piece is there is no percussion. It's all on electronic track. So it's basically going to be wind band meets rave meets choral arrangement. Hope you enjoy it. I forgot. This is going to feature Jackson and F1 alto sax. The best part about that piece is watching the percussion in the back jam out the whole time. They have walked into the band room like 40 billion times where I'm just checking sound, or running the track, and it's like, we're not having class today? Yes, we're having class today. It's just the soundtrack. But moving on, our final student-led piece is by our last senior drum major, Kira Thorpe. Please welcome to sing.
No way.
Her pieces are out of Sundance. Hope you enjoy. Again, if you watch the clarinets and flutes faces during that piece, they all stare at her like, why did you do this to me? Kira picked 3 pieces, all of which the ensemble rejected, and this was the last one. So the first one, I didn't let you pass that Anyway, so she just likes art music, and that's okay. We're going to close tonight with one of my favorites. We played it, I don't know, 3 years ago, but in keeping with movie themes and all that, we're going to get with something fun and exciting. Please enjoy The Incredibles. And I'm actually not conducting, I'm going to play drum set, so.
After this is when it's from Bill Nark. It's from Bill Nark after this. That's like after Jay Young is back. I know we did that.
Thanks so much for sticking around and hanging out with us. I just asked that your student help me take the things back upstairs. Have a great day.